So listen to this. This trader calls me last week. He built himself what he thought was the perfect setup. Top-of-the-line graphics card, glowing fans, the whole thing lit up like a Christmas tree. Cost him almost $4,000. And guess what? His charts were still stuttering at the open. Here's the thing. He spent all of his money on the wrong parts. And he's not alone. I get this call 3-4 times a month. A trader who went out, he copied a gaming spec sheet off of some YouTube video, dropped serious cash, and ended up with a machine that chokes the second the market actually moves. So today, I'm going to show you the complete trading computer setup that professionals actually use. Not what looks good in a photo, not what some gaming channel guy told you. The real thing, top to bottom, component by component. My name is Eddie Z. I've spent 39 years trading the markets, and for the last 16, I've built trading computers for serious traders. So let me show you what actually matters. First, I want to kill a fantasy because it's costing you money. There's this myth floating around out there. The guys on the hedge fund desks, the bank desks, the prop traders, those fundy traders who are supposedly crushing it, that they run on some kind of secret supercomputer. Liquid nitrogen-cooled monsters, machines that cost more than your car. I talked to a guy not too long ago, 22 years on a trading desk in Midtown Manhattan, and I asked him straight up, what machines were you running on that floor? And you know what he told me? Off-the-shelf, powerful workstations. Nothing exotic, nothing magic. The difference wasn't the hardware. The difference was that every single machine was built and configured correctly for one job, trading. And that's the whole secret. So let me walk you through exactly what that looks like. Number one, and this one's free, a dedicated machine. A real trading computer does one thing. It trades. There's no Netflix, there's no Facebook, there's no kid logging in to play Roblox. You don't have 40 Chrome tabs and your fantasy football league running in the background. On a bank trading desk, the IT department locks those machines down so tight that a janitor couldn't install solitaire on it. Why? Because every program running on the background is eating your CPU and your RAM and competing with your trading platform for resources. So when the market gaps up at 9:31 and you have 3 platforms that need to redraw charts at once, your computer is also trying to sync OneDrive and load Chrome tabs in the background. What you want to do is strip it down to the studs, trading software only. Make it boring. To make that fix cost you exactly $0. First, let's start with what is the engine of the machine, the processor, also known as the CPU. This is where most traders get it dead wrong. They think more cores, more better. Wrong. Trading software doesn't care about 64 cores all working together like video editing does. It cares about a few cores running insanely fast. Single core speed is the game. So what you want is a high-end current generation chip, an AMD Ryzen 9 9950X3D or higher, or an Intel Core Ultra 7 or Core Ultra 9. This is the neighborhood you want to be shopping in. But here's the number that actually matters, and it's the one I want you to write down. It's something called your CPU benchmark score. Your CPU benchmark score needs to be 45,000. Think of it like horsepower on your car. The higher the number, the better. 45,000 is the floor. Below that, your machine is choking on data from the very first candlestick. And here's the problem. You probably have no idea where your machine stands right now. So stop guessing. I built a 60-second benchmark test specifically for traders. You run it and get a real number, not a hope and a prayer. If you're under 45,000, that's your answer for why your charts freeze when it counts. There's a link to the test in the description. Run it after this video. Next, the RAM, the random access memory. Think of RAM like the size of your desk. If you have a little teeny tiny desk, you can only work on one thing at a time. If you have a big desk, you can spread everything out and grab it instantly. It's all in front of you. When you trade, you're not running one program. Maybe you've got NinjaTrader running, and then maybe you've got Thinkorswim, which eats RAM like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You've got a browser, you've got a news feed, you've got your broker's order window. Maybe you've got Excel tracking your P&L. If you only have 16 gigabytes of RAM, that's like 3 adults crammed into a smart car. Somebody's going to get hurt. 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM is the minimum for serious trading. 64 gigabytes if you're running multiple platforms. Full stop. All right, let's talk about storage. Get something called an NVMe solid-state hard drive. Not a spinning hard drive that sounds like a tiny washing machine, not even an old SATA SSD. The new NVMe Gen 4 or Generation 5 drives. This is what boots your machine in under 20 seconds and opens your platforms instantly instead of staring at a loading screen while opportunities are flying by. A spinning drive in a trading computer today is like showing up to a Formula One race on a horse. Let's talk about the graphics card, also known as the GPU or video card. And this is the most expensive mistake of them all. Some guy calls me convinced he needs a $3,700 graphics card to trade. Absolute nonsense. One of these super high-end gaming cards is built to render explosions at 300 frames per second. You are rendering candlesticks. You don't need a monster truck to deliver a pizza. What you actually need is a car that easily drives 4 monitors cleanly, and it has the AI horsepower for the new wave of trading tools. An NVIDIA RTX 5060 or 5070 does all of that and saves you thousands of dollars. Put that extra money towards RAM instead. Now here's a part nobody talks about enough, and it happens to be the #1 thing that traders call me about. Your monitors and your cables. I track every single call that comes into my shop, and more than half of them, over half, are about the physical setup. Monitors, cables, connections, the whole thing. This is where real-world pain lives. Let's start with the monitors. Most traders think more screens is about looking like a Wall Street pro, like you're some kind of hedge fund manager. It's not. Here is the real reason monitors matter, especially if you're over 50 like me. Look, your eyes aren't 35 anymore, and that's not an insult, it's just biology. More screen real estate lets you make everything bigger without giving anything up. Your main chart can fill up a whole screen. Your level 2 is readable from 3 feet back. Your order buttons are actually buttons, not teeny targets you have to go hunt for. But you've got to do it right. Matching monitors. You want the same model, the same size, the same panel type. What you want to do is go with IPS panels for color and viewing angle, 144 hertz or better for refresh rate. Please do not buy a 65-inch TV from Costco and mount it on the wall. Those are built to watch from 12 feet away on your couch. Sit 3 feet from it at your desk, and your charts look like they were drawn with crayons. 4 matching 27-inch monitors will give you the same real estate with the right pixel density. That's the move. And then there's the cable that you use to plug in those monitors, the most underrated part of your trading setup. I had a trader call me convinced his brand new 4K monitor was defective. His charts were stuttering, his dome was trailing the market by half a second. He told me that he scratched on a trade at break even and then watched it rip 30 ticks without him. $1,400 gone. And it wasn't the monitors. It turned out it was the HDMI cable from 2014 that he found in a drawer. Now here's why that happened. Your monitor refreshes 144 times a second. That's called a refresh rate. Your video card is pushing that 144 frames, no problem. But if the cable in the middle is only rated for 60 hertz or 60 frames per second, the whole chain drops to 60. The slowest link wins. For trading, you want DisplayPort 1.4 or higher, or HDMI 2.1. And DisplayPort is almost always a better choice for multiple monitors. That free cable that comes in the box with the TV is the peanuts on the airplane. Good enough to shut you up, not good enough to feed you. Now, your connection. You want to hardwire your internet. Every time, no exceptions. Look, I don't care if you've got 2 gigabit fiber coming into your house. If you're using Wi-Fi, that Wi-Fi is bouncing off your walls. It's competing with your wife's phone, your kid's Xbox, your neighbor's Netflix, and even your smart refrigerator. On that bank trading floor I was telling you about, not one trader was on Wi-Fi. The compliance team would have fired them before lunch. Run an Ethernet cable from your router into the machine. A $12 cable fixes more trading problems than a $1,000 upgrade. But keep the Wi-Fi as your backup. That's your redundancy. Your Ethernet primary, your phone's hotspot as a failover when your internet decides to take a dump mid-trade. Hardwire primary, wireless secondary. That's the setup. So here's the math, because I know somebody out there still hung up on the price. A real trading machine can run you over $2,500. The Best Buy special you're limping along on was $1,200. Yeah, the gap's real, but one bad fill from slippage costs you a few $100. One missed breakout on a frozen chart is a $1,000 trade you watch sail by. Do that twice, and the machine already paid for itself. Look, your trading computer isn't an expense. It's the single most important tool in your business. It's not the chair. It's not the desk. It's the machine that connects you to the market. It's your direct window to the markets. When it lags, your edge disappears. When it crashes, your account bleeds. So here's what I want you to do. If you want the exact specs, the exact processor, the RAM thresholds, the right graphics cards, how to wire up your monitors the right way, I put it all into my free complete guide to trading computers. This is a brand new edition. And I explain this to you in the most basic trader speak there is. It's not geek speak. I'm not going to baffle you with bullshit. This guide is the same checklist I walk every single customer through. There's a link for it in the description. Go grab it. And do yourself a favor, slam that subscribe button. I drop videos every single week, all built around one thing, making sure your trading technology stops being the reason you lose money in the markets. And if you want to see the absolute best computer for trading right now, the ones that pros actually run, check out this video right here. My name's Eddie Z. Thanks for watching, and as I always say, may the trend be with you.